morning, everyone. This is Brian Etner with your Wednesday, October 17th morning market commentary. A little bit of a slow overnight here after we had a small technical correction across the grains. So probably going to see a little bit slower trade as long as funds remain quiet. They were quiet yesterday after recent very active fund short covering across both corn and beans. Yesterday was maybe a sign that they've reached a point of or close enough to flat where they have slowed down. It's only been 1 day, so we're going to have to give it a few days to be sure. But we'll be looking out today. If they are not here, we may have a generally calm day. We still have underlying support in the corn. The current price of December at $3.74 still suggests trade is pricing in closer to a 2.2 carryout when the last report gave us 1.813. So we can still say that there's general reason to expect support into the corn here, especially, again, looking back at that report, how it actually lowered yield just 0.6 of a bushel. But as seeing one report where we lower yield, it might be tough to make the case that we will get production high enough to eventually get the carryout to 2.2. So that's a solid reason to expect underlying support in that market. If there is a continued slow drift back on a technical correction, it's worth mentioning that the next technical support on the December corn chart is at 369.5. It's an old resistance area which we would expect to now become new support. Over in beans, the weather remains clear for 12 days for just about all harvesting areas. Again, any combine that wants to go should have the chance for 12 straight days here. That could provide a little bit of light pressure on the beans, again, as long as funds are quiet. We'll briefly mention South American weather, that it looks pretty good right now. Not too many areas of high concern. We do want to point out that this is just a talking point for this time. Until beans reach 70% harvested, trade will keep focus on our harvest progress. Again, as soon as we reach 70% harvested on the official Monday report, then you'll start to see trade react a little bit more to South American weather updates. Mentioning technical support in the beans, it would be 887 3/4 there in the beans, so we'll want to watch that for a potential technical support. That is in the January, and we do want to start turning our focus over to that January contract. That will become lead contract by the end of this week, so that'll be the chart that we want to watch first and foremost for that market. Over in wheat, the December Chicago wheat continues to trade in a range. We've had a nice bounce recently, but there's a solid 2-month range for that December wheat. The high end being 531.25, low end being 505.25. So we hit the top end of that range yesterday, easing back from that in the overnight, as you probably expect. We do have enough Russian export concerns to keep us trading up to the upper end of that range, but again, we're still not seeing the strong weekly U.S. exports to break out of that top end of the range. So that's what we're seeing in wheat. We would expect that to continue to be range-bound. Fund trading is much less active in the wheat, so not much influence from them. Lastly, over in cattle, we saw a 110 bid yesterday. Pretty much what we would expect. That 110 bid, again, implies a 6th week in a row of a 111 cash trade later this week. So we're looking at that. Once again, looking neutral. For the most part, box beef also has been chopping up and down, but if you're going to give it a 3-week outlook, you'd call that neutral as well. So that's what we're looking at from those 2 points. Friday, we have a cattle on feed report. Nothing as expected this week as we've seen in previous months. Placements are expected at 100.1 on feeds, expected at 106.4. Marketing's expected at 97.0. Nothing that trade probably doesn't already know, so maybe not looking for the world's largest reaction if we get those numbers on Friday for cattle. So that's what we're looking at here today on Wednesday. Give us a call at 800-551-4626 or visit us on the web at allendale-inc.com.